Yo, what's up? It's your girl Brooke Gisele. This is the Infinite Goat podcast. Today we got Johno here. How are you doing
What's
today?
going on? How you doing, Miss Brooke?
I'm doing very well. So let's get started. Can you give us an insight on how you got started as an entrepreneur and as a vegan truck owner, operator, and
Mm.
private cuisine? You got a lot going on. Can you just give
Yeah,
the
it's a lot.
people?
It's kind of like in line with each other, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like that. The journey for me with entrepreneurship is a lot similar to a lot of people that kind of go on this journey. You kind of tired of the 9 to 5. You just want to see, you kind of want to see what is working for me on the other side, and so it's not an easy thing to do. So you have to tap into some sort of like trade or some sort of creativity, and for me, that's what it was, kind of in a sense. I think cooking for me kind of started like when I became vegetarian. Me and my homie was like after the club one night in college, roommates. We go hit like a food truck, but it was one night they ain't have no food for us. They ain't had no food for nobody, matter of fact, and we ended up just like let's go to Walmart and get some food. Like know nothing about cooking besides throwing something in the oven, but we went and they had like some vegetarian like meats and cheeses and stuff like that, and we were just like, let's make some quesadillas. And before you know it, we thinking like, okay, this is good for us. Maybe because we drunk, maybe because it's a late night, maybe because it's we just it's quick and it's accessible. But like we was like, hold on, let's do that again. And so we started doing it. We started cooking for our friends, and our friends like, y'all should sell this. And so before you know it, we just started the conversation. We started doing the YouTube thing, started cooking, started doing private like catering stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
making plates and stuff like that. And then eventually, we just kind of had the conversation in 2019, like, bro, let's start a food truck. So
Wow.
that's how that turned into that.
So, did you have any background as like already cooking? Like, cause your food is really good,
None,
honestly.
none.
None.
But I come from a cooking family. Like my grandmother, my mom cook really, really well. And so, although I didn't know how to cook, I knew how to eat. I knew what food was supposed to taste like. So I spent most of my time just trying to like mirror the flavors and texture. And so it's for me like that was the biggest tool for me. The biggest resource in learning how to cook was like, well, you have to know how food's supposed to taste, and that's the advantage I have. And so, my homie as well, Wade, uh, that he came from a cooking background. He had like a kind of multifaceted background. His dad was Nigerian, his mom was Black American, and so they both his parents cooked. So it was like the perfect recipe, so to
Okay.
speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, with that, you said you started as a vegetarian,
Mhm.
and what made you make it? Cause isn't your brand is it vegetarian or vegan?
So the food truck which I'm a
Mm-hmm.
founder of is actually 100% vegan.
Okay.
I started out vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Um 2014 became a vegetarian, 2016 vegan. And I was vegan all the way up until like my birthday of 2023, which is last year where I started to like eat fish and a little chicken here and there, but still but the truck itself is still 100% vegan. But the private dining concept that I created called JohneauxPrive outside of that is more open, is more broad. So like we're not limited to veganism. So when we start like deploying different chefs and creating different menus, it's more with the idea of like whatever you want. So I got instead of me, not just me, it's a team of us. So yeah, it's more broad.
More broad.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you want to start a private cuisine?
Um, I would say just being able to tap into that market. I think you have a lot of people that I think the truck itself has been open since 2020. And there's just some people who will not come to a food truck. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who
Hmm.
will not go to a restaurant. There's some people that has like a certain um je ne sais quoi, right? When it comes to like how they eat and how they dine. Some people only do fine dining. So I think it's just for me, at least for the lane that we was in, it was like untapped potential. And like I said, although it is separate, like JohneauxPrive, completely separate
Okay.
from each other. However, core backgrounds, we all, food, health, food safety, gourmet,
Hmm.
just about the quality. We still, on both ends, quality is very important. So yeah.
That's awesome. So for the people that doesn't like to go to a food truck or a restaurant, you come to them, their homes, or can they pick up from you? How does that work
Yeah,
out?
so the service essentially ranges from like a dinner for two,
Okay.
all the way up to probably you name it. Like we'll go as big as weddings,
Hmm. Hmm.
birthday parties, um, private dining. One of my first gigs that I did was like a party of five,
Okay.
and so which was a family, which is cool because
Hmm.
I still get to be, I still get to serve. I still get to serve in the same capacity that I would if I was on a truck,
Yep.
but now it's more personal. It's more geared towards like intimate professionalism.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like you provide the intimate setting, or you could provide more of the outgoing one. So if someone's like in a rush, need to pick up some food, they could eat at the food truck and then take it home.
Exactly.
Did anyone like ask you to start doing the private dining, or you just wanted to like start being more of a trendsetter and doing your own thing when it comes to you know the food industry?
A little bit of both. That's a great question. I think for me, you're gonna get so many people that says, "Oh, well, do you do meal prep or do you do this and do you do that?" I'm a 100% without a doubt hate food prep. Like I'm
Really?
not a food prepper. Like, cause for one, me, I don't like eating the same thing every day, and
Okay.
I wouldn't cook anything that it's like, okay, you got to eat this 5 times, and then that's just not me. So I did start off cooking before me and my friend opened the truck,
Mm-hmm.
making plates. But even then, I just thought that it was a little just out of bounds for what I wanted to do. But I do like the idea of being able to, just get up front. Like if I know if I'm feeding like a party of 10, party of 2, party of 5, let me see the invoice, and that way we can focus on service. Like, cause if I just make the food and I make it all about like, oh, well, I got plates to sell, then I gotta still consider quality, service, and marketing all at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. But if I can already do the marketing part, we tackle that, and then now we can focus on servitude. So that's why I just try to, as far as the truck goes, the truck, we're on the truck, and it's like we prep for the week, and then we go out to sell. With the
Okay.
catering things, invoice. Like we want before I start cooking anything, I want to make sure that the payments have already been sent. That way, like I
Okay.
said, prioritizing quality,
I love
servitude.
that. I
Yeah.
love that because most people, I feel like they just be in it for the money, and they don't remember that people want to feel good. They want love into their food. They want great customer service. So the fact that you offer all of those qualities in one, I feel like that and it does set you aside from the rest of the food industry.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much our goal, like to be set apart. Absolutely.
Hmm. So speaking of your vegan cuisine, what's your signature dish on your food truck menu?
So to be honest, on the food truck, if so many like over the course of we've been open since 2020, now it's 2024, so we kind of celebrating 4 years. What I will say is everybody has came along and like made their perfect made their own kind of like special favorite item. Like we have 4 or 5 different special items where like the menu can literally be broken down into 4 different things, the way people love those things. Some people come and try it, and they've been eating the same thing all 4 years. Me
Wow.
personally, I probably got to go with the hot Atlanta on the food truck. Hot
Mhm.
Atlanta is like our version of the Nashville hot chicken, so
Mhm.
I don't think there's a better like comparison outside of the one we have. You
My
probably got to go to Nashville to get a better sandwich than that one.
Well, but also that's for people who might not eat vegan food. So,
Mhm.
like, I guess for someone that maybe eats both, they could, make that comparison or, say which one is
Exactly,
better.
yeah. So majority of our customers on the truck
Mhm.
are not vegan. Like 80,
Mhm.
90% of the people are like people that are ambidextrous in the food world. So uh they eat steak on Monday, shrimp on Tuesday, and they back at the truck on the weekend. That's just being honest. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not vegan, but I have been vegetarian for a little bit, in it, off and on. But I love your vegan tacos.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
will order. I remember one time I was ordering them like every other day when, like, especially when I'm on a break or whatever. I'm like, okay, but and it's like I don't feel like leaving the house. I would order those. It's my favorite, and I love your lemonade and your mac and cheese.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that with the tacos, it's funny because those started off as that we wanted to just put those on the menu as like a side item or extra. But then people like you and other people just come and get that, like literally that. So yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that praise. But yeah, appreciate
I
it.
have to order 2 orders of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how good it is. But yeah, so and speaking of like your signature menu, with JohneauxPrive, am I saying it right?
Privé.
Privé.
Yeah.
Do you have like a signature dish, or can people order
You
anything?
we want to have the possibilities open as far as like we don't impose limits. However, there
Okay.
I am dropping a menu for Johno Privé very soon.
Ooh,
Like I
when?
said, I'm just working through different chefs. I'm doing different tasting events. I just had my first one November 10th, so
Okay.
about a couple weeks ago, from the recording date, which went really well. My personal favorite is like the brunch menu. It's not out yet, but I can't wait to drop that brunch menu. I'm almost finished, kind of putting the bells and whistles on that. But like I said, we got a couple more tasting events to go, a couple more interviews to go, and we'll be able to roll out like with a full broad menu.
Okay. Okay. What has been like the most surprising reaction from your customers?
Okay, so on the vegan side, absolutely is like this ain't vegan. You know what I'm saying? This is me. And for us, like I guess in this modern day version of veganism, especially from an entrepreneurial business perspective, is like to copycat the real food, like so to speak.
Okay.
So it's like the burgers and chicken sandwiches to make them taste and texture just like like the meat, the meat, without compromising flavor, texture, taste, etc.
Right.
So just that, and then as far as the Jono Privé, I think people more than anything love the name because it's a
Yeah.
spinoff of my nickname, and then just the concept that people you see a lot of private dining on Instagram with different on social media with different chefs and stuff like that. But I think the approach that I want to take is to kind of give it more of a like an elegant overview, but like a more of an urban undertone. And I think it creates a vibe. It's very atmospheric. So I kind of want to be like, it's just something I want to do more. I just I don't want to limit it to private dining, even though it's
Okay.
very private. I do want to create like a concept that more people can indulge in.
Like what?
Like so, my first tasting event I did last a couple weeks ago, and one of the people who follow the page and follow the journey is like, well, you should come to Dallas and do it. I'm like, man, should I turn this into a tour? So now I'm in the works of
Ooh.
like thinking, hey, do I do this Texas tour? Do I go to Dallas, Austin, San Antonio? But yeah, that's what I'm on now, and I do want to create different experiences for different holidays. So yeah, that's more information on those things to come. So more than just the food, but just an atmosphere, like I said, a vibe, like
Okay.
just to take part in the festivities.
When I hear your name, Jono Privé, like it sounds expensive. So I
Yes,
feel like it sounds like something of quality. So
yes,
I feel like that will be like an experience. And, when you do decide, or if you do decide to do the tour, are you going to cater to each city or state, like with their signature, like food? You know how like different cities offer, like there's something that they're known for?
yes. That's actually a great idea. Like that's a great idea, and to be honest, I did kind of think about that when I one time I visited New Orleans.
Uh huh.
And literally everywhere you go is red beans and rice, catfish. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do I go there and do that? You know what I'm saying? Or do I just bring something different? But that's a great idea because I think what it'll do is at least allow people to come out and be able to uh, see it for themselves. Like be
Mm-hmm.
willing to make a competitive decision. So
Yeah.
that'd be a great idea, actually.
Yeah, remember me when you start that. No.
Absolutely.
What have been some of the biggest challenges in running two distinct yet complementary businesses?
Woo! I think just business in general. That like the moment you decide to say I am going to jump into the realm of business, challenge. That's where it starts at.
Okay.
And the best thing that you can do is utilize the resources that are before you.
Hmm.
The people that you know, read books, research, watch YouTube videos, do everything you can. Do not go into this independent minded. Lean not on your own understanding, because
Right.
you will run into hiccups that have already probably have been solved. So it's
Okay.
just better to research, because like I said, entirely it's a challenge, but it's worth it when you do the necessary things to overcome.
Community is a lot, and I've been really like honing in on the word community. It really means a lot, and I feel like a lot of people, because I'm a very independent kind of like solo kind of person. I've always been like that, but I feel like I've learned how important having community is. So what does community mean to you?
Man, community is literally the most important thing as a human being that we're gonna have to like engage in.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's important is because like when we're born into life, like we're born into community, whether we realize it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then the objective as we get older, no matter what our family circumstances may have been, no matter what our childhood and upbringing may have been, the objective is to reroute into community, because I think unity is very important, unification, and I think that's what community brings us. It brings us unity and unity and community. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Mm-hmm.
it does. It just kind of it's like a world of um supplementary and complementary endeavors. So I got your back, you got mine. And sometimes it might not even be personal. Sometimes it'll
Mm-hmm.
just be the crossing guard. You probably just met him today, but that relationship is about like help and unity. Just, even the greeter at the grocery store. So I think
Mm-hmm.
no matter what example, I think if you have a unification mindset, just as a human, inside business, outside of business, at school, at work, in any capacity. So yeah.
That's awesome. Do you feel like your food brings people together?
Man, and if it don't, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm in the wrong industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong industry, and I think that's the objective. And I think for me, like I said, the food is just a checkbox.
Okay.
Like servitude is
Mm-hmm.
probably the biggest checkbox, and I think there's a lot of moving pieces, but I think servitude is the most important part. Like I said, um, I wanna get the smiles and cheers that come from tasting great food, but I also want the smiles and cheers that come from like, oh, he put himself last. He made sure that I had everything that I needed. He thought about things that I didn't even think about. He was so nice. He was gentle. He was patient. He was kind. He was loving. I want to hear those things more than I want to hear the food was good. I want to hear the food was good too, but
Yeah.
like I said, the intangible things.
Okay, okay. So, outside of you as a businessman, who are you on your day to day? Like, what is something that people might not know about you?
Um, I think like when you're a businessman, your day to day is business.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
I guess the things that you enjoy about life become your escape. And so for me, I like to write poetry. I love to read. I love spending time with my family. I love talking to my cousins and friends. Love church. I read the Bible a lot, like literally every day, all day. And that's one of the things that kind of helped me, just kind of perfect the aspect of quality and servitude that I want to bring to my business is learning how God teaches us to be. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
absolutely.
What do you plan on doing next with your brand to take it to, even higher levels that it's already at?
Man, to be honest, the sky is the limit. I know personally, like I said, with my relationship with God, I've just planted the seed, and I'm like, God, just help me in this process through and through. So help me cultivate, help me water, help me cut out the weeds, and I'm allowing God to go before me. I'm
Okay.
allowing my faith to go before me, to go in rooms that have the tough conversations, the yeses and the nos, the obstacles. I'm allowing that to go before me, and just really just gonna say the sky's the limit, because I want to, like I said, with this, I just want to be able to affect people in a positive way. I want to create unity and community, And I just want to just be the best servant I can be.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for others that are looking to get started to maybe having their own food truck or getting into the food industry?
Absolutely. That's a portion of what I'm doing with JohneauxPrive as well. A lot of the chefs and aspiring cooks that I reach out to,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them working for me for long.
Oh,
The objective is to teach you how to do this yourself, how to get into whatever atmosphere you want to be in, whether it's a food truck, whether it's a ghost kitchen, whether it's being the top chef that you want to be, whether it's catering and dining. I just want to walk people through that process because me and my best friend, when we started, it was just like, woo, sometimes it was like chasing rabbits. But
really?
then it just, because so many people, it feels like so much information is, it's like people are gatekeeping. And I'm just like, life would be just so much easier if people decided to just speak about it, talk about it, like answer questions, like, because there's enough people in the world, there's enough resources, enough money,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I agree. When it comes to stuff like that, it can be like well, dang, because like you said, community is so important. But at the same time, some people might get intimidated or think, hey, they're gonna take my money. But like you said, it's so many opportunities, so many
Absolutely.
like situations, resources, and so forth. But the way you handle it, I feel like it's nothing but up for you.
Mm.
If you could only eat one vegan dish or any meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Mm. Mm-mm. I would probably have to go with, and I'll be a little general, it's potatoes. I think potatoes just have
Ooh,
range. You know what I'm saying? You could do so
yes.
much. So I'm just going with potatoes. I think it's the safest answer for sure.
Regular potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Regular all
Oh,
day. I do not like sweet potatoes. Like unless I'm eating yams or something on the holidays. But
mm-hmm.
yeah.
So if you could make one of your favorite dishes to any celebrity or public figure, who would it be?
Hmm. Celebrities or public figures. I would probably. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. There's a guy, and I actually recently just checked out his book. His name is Thomas Sowell. He's about like 90. He's in his 90s. And it would have to be him. I know a lot of people don't know him, but he's probably one of the most profound black men to walk this planet. He's an economist, and I just encourage more people to, reach out to him. But he's a man that he just so much wisdom. And I think one of the most important places where you're going to be able to share wisdom, learn, and talk is just at the dinner table. So I would love to just, sit there, be a sponge, and listen to him all day. He's written so many books. And just to share a meal with him would be just beyond, my
Yeah.
wildest imagination.
What meal would you cook?
He's an older guy, so he probably won't do the spice. I love I love a Cajun Alfredo. I got a little kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably would do something like, my smothered potatoes. I probably do a Cajun cream sauce on top of like some grits or something like that, and do brunch. Maybe some chicken and waffles, catfish and whatever it is. So just something that's really, really appetizing, something you can't miss on.
Yeah, chef's kiss. Mwah.
Oh
That
yeah.
sounds like yeah. I feel like he would love that. And that's dope. I haven't heard of him, but I feel like you said, someone of that age, and like you said, that's providing so much wisdom and experience. It's like you can never go wrong with
Absolutely. A
making a
human library.
yeah with
Hmm.
that connection.
Hmm.
And then if your food truck had a theme song, what would it be? I feel like I have it in my head, but I want to know.
Man, it's because that the food truck itself is so multifaceted. Like from the culture to the style to the flavor to the
So H stand.
man, it's so Houston, but it's so like I think we created our own lane, and I'd probably just go. Um, Man, I think it's a staple of Southern culture. I probably have to go Southside by Lil Kiki.
Okay,
I probably have to
Southside by
go
Lil
Southside by
Kiki.
Lil Kiki.
You know what I was gonna say?
What you got?
Houstatlantavegan Vegas by
Yeah, that
Jay.
was just too
Come
easy.
on, I
That
know.
was that was too easy.
But it's like, cause you got that soulful vibe and energy. I could
Yeah.
just see like the whole vision, and just he's still in a Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Nah,
Um,
for sure. That's when That's kind of what we had in mind, obviously, but that was
Yeah.
just the easy one, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, but Southside by Kiki, I
yeah,
feel like
man, it
definitely gives
just,
that like that flavor.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's one piece of advice you would give to someone, that want to start out in private cuisine?
Do your research. Don't hesitate to go work at a fast food restaurant. Don't
Okay.
hesitate to go work at a food truck. And I wouldn't, if you really want, if it's something you really want to do, consider doing it for free,
Hmm.
because you probably won't get paid in money what you really are worth,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
the wisdom, the knowledge, the things you're going to learn are going to be beyond what you can imagine. If you go there with the desire to literally learn, you can go to a Burger King, a Popeyes, um, uh, um, a Mo Brunch and Brews. You can go to any place that where the owner or the main chef is willing to give you an opportunity just to learn.
Right.
Go do it for free anywhere, because you can learn in any setting. And on top of that, like I said, YouTube University.
Oh
Don't
yeah, I love
hesitate.
YouTube University.
Yeah,
But them places is not going to pay. I mean, not going to not pay
there you
them.
go. So
So I was gonna say what am I trying to say? Mentorship or internship. Would you
absolutely,
provide that
I
for
would
them?
love to do that. Like I think that's just a part of my own personal due diligence, is to provide mentorship, and I tend to do that. My phone just on a regular basis is ringing from sun up to sundown, just naturally,
Mm-hmm.
with so many different things, topics, conversations. So I don't mind. Like I said, my due diligence is to just mentor.
Mentor.
Anybody, whatever, especially with business. And like I said, reach out to me. I'll answer any question you guys got. I'll point you in the right direction, and I can learn from whomever as well. So
Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Okay. So basically you have all that going on, but how do you plan on, like pushing out more of your brand to people in like the upper cities, like I would say like the East Coast, up north, maybe the Midwest. I know you got the southern thing going, but like how do you feel like you would connect with others from those places?
That's a great question, and I think that just comes with servitude. I think a lot of places, when they think of the South, they think of Southern hospitality, and
Okay.
so before you bring your food with you, that's what you're taking with you. So, if that's an avenue that in the meantime, in the future, that I want to break into it, that me and my business partner, my best friend, and my other friends that I might have business ventures with,
Mm-hmm.
I think we just lead with customer service, we lead with integrity, lead with Southern hospitality, and that's how you break through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing remarks or anything you want to get out
Oh
to?
no, I do. Like I said, I do want to just and I don't consider this a closing remark, but I just consider this just a stamp of my life. One of the most important factors that I think for me in my personal life was my relationship with God.
Mm.
And I encourage, no matter what walk of life you're on, no matter where you're at in life, just take time to just give thanks, and then learn who you're giving thanks to, and just learn how much of a
Mm-hmm.
blessing the word of God can be for you. And that right there will open up more doors than keys that we have on earth. So, you know,
Yes, I feel like gratitude and staying grateful and just being a good person will really take you really far.
far as you can go.
Yes, yes. Shout out all of your businesses, like your Instagram, TikToks, YouTube, whatever you
Absolutely.
have.
Yeah, so Instagram and TikTok is JohneauxPrive, JohneauX_Prive, Prive. And then my best friend who's running the Houstatlantavegan at this point in juncture in time, Wade, that's Houstatlantavegan, not Houston Atlanta Vegan, but Houstatlantavegan, like the Drake song. So HOUSTATLANTA vegan, VEGAN.
Yes, yes. Well,
Yeah.
guys, that is a wrap.